Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. Hope you're doing well. I'm here with a book haul, and I have book mail. And I'm going to start off with the mail because I'm very excited about this. I've already taken it out of the box. I've actually already opened it as well because I was like a kid, saying the presents under the Christmas tree, having a patience problem, and wanted to open a present early. My parents can probably laugh and relate to that because I love opening presents and I don't win very often. I think my mom could probably tell you I was probably 7 or 8 when I won a bike at a cakewalk for like a PTO fundraiser. And I haven't won anything since. I think I won. I went to Vegas 3 times. I think I came away once feeling like I actually was ahead. But yeah, I just don't win things. But Josh had already overbooked. He's been doing this fantasy football with some of his buddies, and if he wins or loses, he's been giving away a book, and you have to throw your name in the hat as a chance to win. He was giving away a specific book that I had read this year that I really, really wanted. Don't have a physical copy of it, and I threw my name in, and lo and behold, I won. And so I'm super excited about this because not only, and I've already taken it apart, it was very neatly wrapped. I'm sorry, Josh. But yeah, I was like a kid that couldn't wait, and I ripped this thing open. But yes, I'm here to show you the book that I won in this raffle. I won The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. If you are new to my channel, I did a review on this earlier in the year. Fantastic book. But the cool thing about this is, one, it comes with this beautiful kind of poster kind of insert. And the other cool thing about this is not only is it a beautiful book, but it's also a signed edition. And so I cannot thank you enough. Josh, already overbooked, check out his channel. I am super excited to have this on my shelf. Very indebted to you, sir. And yeah, I can't believe I won something. So yeah, and I definitely was going to get a copy of this. I'm over the moon. I'm kind of rambling here at this point. But yeah, Joe Abercrombie, The Devils. If you haven't read this, if you're a fan of Abercrombie and Grimdark, fantastic. So highly recommend. And now I have a signed copy, so that's great. So now I'm going to get set up for the rest of this birthday book haul. So in addition to winning a book for my birthday, I also got gift cards and money from family, my beautiful wife. And so this part of this haul is going to be in 3 parts. The first being I got a gift card to Barnes & Noble from my beautiful wife. And so I went to Barnes & Noble. And it was burning a hole in my pocket. And I had a short list of books that I was interested in that I haven't found in the wild or used reduced priced. So I'm like, yeah, I'll use it. And so I got 3 books at Barnes & Noble. The first being Frederick Forsyth, The Day of the Jackal. I have seen the season 1 on, I think it was Apple TV or Peacock, and I enjoyed it. So I've heard good things about this book. I think it was Bing Lamb that talked about this with me in one of our conversations, and he said it's really good. So I picked it up. It's a book that I definitely am interested in trying out and seeing if I like it. But yeah, really intriguing. I think it'll be good. One of those type of deals, and I'm glad I got a copy. I haven't seen this used. So the next book that I got is definitely one that you see a lot about making the rounds, and that's not the sole reason I got it, but I did like the premise of it, and being a book 1, I thought it sounded interesting to me, and that is The Will of the Many. It's Hierarchy, book number 1 by James Islington. And so, yeah, I picked this up. They had it in this big old floppy trade, and so I picked it up. I'm interested in it. I know book 2 just recently came out, which is also kind of put it in my mind, from a buyer's perspective. But I think this sounds like an interesting book, and so I picked it up. And then the third book I picked up, and if I blame anyone, it's probably Pat with Book Chat with Pat, and probably Lecton at Reading from the Depths. But they're like, he has read this and did a review, and Pat's like, I think you'll really like this book. And it is The End of the World as We Know It This is New Tales of Stephen King's The Stand, with introduction by Stephen King. It's written by many different authors, and it's all around The Stand. And so I think this is going to be interesting. I'm interested to try this out. This is definitely one of the ones I'll probably be looking at in 2026 as trying out. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's a beautiful book. I mean, really nicely put together. Yeah, I really like the look of it. It's got a nice aesthetic to it. But yeah, I picked up these 3 books using my Barnes & Noble gift card for my birthday. Thank you to my wife for this. And now let me get on to the next part of this book haul. So the second part of this book haul is I got money from my parents, birthday money, and I'm like, my mom knows that I like to frequent used bookstores, and so they gave me some cash to do so, and I went and talked to Bob, one of the bookstore owners, and spent some money in a store. And so the first books that I got, I picked up 4 Gray Man novels. I have yet to read a Gray Man, but I have seen the movie that is based on, I believe, book 1. And so I am interested in collecting them because I think it's one of those type of thrillers that I'd be into. But I have now, I believe, 5 of the first 6. I think I'm missing number 4. But I have number 1. And I also picked up Back Blast in this tall mass market paperback. And then I picked up 3 in these floppy trade paperbacks, which I really like. Ballistic, On Target, and Gunmetal Gray. So I was really excited about that. And then I saw this and had to pick it up. It's by Richard Matheson. I've never read this book, but it is Hell House by Richard Matheson. Really cool cover. So I picked that up. And then I saw these and grabbed them instantly. I think I was the only one in the store at that time. But they are 3 mass market paperbacks by Robert B. Parker, part of his Spencer series. So we have Pale Kings and Princess, Promised Land, which I really like the covers of these, and Backstory. And so I picked up these 3 Spencer novels. I looked at my spreadsheet. I have 25 of the, I believe, like 50-ish Spencer novels. And so I'm doing well getting those. I've yet to read one, but I've loved Parker's Westerns, and I just got a feeling that I'm going to like it. It's definitely one of those series that is, when I slide in the next series that I want to focus on, it's probably going to be that one, because I really like Parker's writing. I picked up a Don Pendleton Executioner novel. I picked up Executioner number 30, Cleveland Pipeline. I couldn't pass this up for the price. It does have a 90 written in it on the front and pin, but it's just such a cool cover. And I just really like these Mac Bolan books by Pendleton. They're just really fun reads. I picked up 2 Louis L'Amours that they had. I picked up Rivers West and The Sixth Shotgun. And then I picked up some other trade paperbacks. I picked up a Dashiell Hammett. It is The Glass Key. I've yet to read Hammett, but most people that know my reading taste are like, you're really going to like this. And so I think I now have 3 or 4 of his books now in these kind of thin trade paperback editions. And I picked up this really cool book. It's American Supernatural Tales. It's Penguin Classics. Really cool cover there. But this thing is awesome. And it has a bunch of people in here. Washington Irving, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Poe, it has Henry James, Lovecraft, Clark Ashton Smith, Robert E. Howard, which is the big 3 from Weird Tales. You have Robert Bloch, Fritz Lieber, Bradbury, Shirley Jackson, Richard Matheson, Stephen King, which is, the entry is Night Surf, which I've already read, Carl Edward Wagner, Joyce Carol Oates. So really, really cool stuff. And then I was texting some of my buddies on BookTube because I found this. It was actually in the Clark Ashton Smith. It was actually on this page here. And it's an index card, but on the back of it, in block lettering, someone wrote, "I like," and then they used the proper anatomy term for a female body part. And so I thought that had to be some young kid or something. And so I sent that to some of my booktube buddies who thought that was, pretty humorous. And so you never know what you're going to find. And I did find some other things in books here, which I'm going to talk about. But I also picked up, I'm really excited about this, is Mike Hammer, case book, A Long Time Dead by Mickey Spillane and Max Allan Collins. And this is 8 kind of short story tales. And I looked it up, and it's cataloged as number 22 in the Mike Hammer series. But yeah, it has like 8 short stories in it. Just a really cool book. I picked that up too. Really excited about that. Mike Hammer is one of those series that I'm going to continue in 2026 to make some headway in. But yeah. And then lastly, I picked this up. This was actually on his counter. I was just going to get those books, and then I saw this, and it's something I've had my eye on for a while. But I picked up this boxed penguin edition of Lev Grossman's The Magician's Trilogy. And so it's books 1 through 3 in these penguin editions that don't look like they have ever been read. But yeah, The Magicians. And then you have The Magician King. And you have The Magician's Land. But yeah, they don't look like they've ever been read by anyone. Their spines are perfect, and they're all penguin editions in a box. So I picked all those up as well. And so, yeah, that's what I spent my birthday money for my parents on. And so lastly, I have the last part of this book haul, so stick around. And so the last part of this haul is we were looking for something to do over the holidays, and I noticed a social media post that said that the Friend Shop Bookshop north of me was having their monthly $1 bag tag deal, which is where you can go in. They had a huge amount of books on tables, and you could fill up a tote bag for $1. And so I thought that'd be interesting for Abby and Tessa and I to go do. And so we went to Champaign to spend some time, get her out of the hair of my wife, and yeah, just to have something to do over the holidays. And so I'm glad I did. And so I spent $9 at the Friend Shop Bookshop. 6 of those 9 I got on these 2 books. I got James by Percival Everett. This is a book that I had my eye on. I thought between my mom and myself, one of us might like this. I got this for $4. It wasn't part of the bag sale, but yeah, $4 for, it's like brand new, little hardback book. So yeah, I got that for $4. And then for $2 of that $9, I got a copy of 11/22/63 in this big floppy paperback edition. And I got this because my hardback edition, which I gave Carly a while back, when she went to go read it, it was falling apart. And so that was several months ago. And I said, hey, I can find that book used. I'll wait a while. I've already read it. She was like, I got some other books I can read. And she's into some of the dragon romantasy book stuff, So I have been waiting, and I had 11/22/63 on my short list when I was at Barnes & Noble, and I'm glad I didn't buy it there at full price because I got that for $2. And so then I paid $1 for Abby's tote bag. She had like 5 or 6 books, and then Tessa had a couple, I think. And then I paid the final $2 on my 2 tote bags, which are these books. And so I found a plethora of books. And so I always grab these when I'm out. These are the Wheel of Time and these tour editions. I have several of them. I think I now have 10 of the 15 books in the series in these tour editions. But I got The Great Hunt and The Dragon Reborn. I think it's book 2 and 3. And so I had the newer tour, which is just a plain Jane color. And I like these cover arts way better. So I grabbed those. And then I was like, oh my gosh, there's Ed McBain. And so I threw these in the tote bag too, because I'm like, oh my goodness, score. I picked up 4 87th Precinct novels. I picked up Tricks by Ed McBain, mass market paperback. And then I had 3 hardbacks that I found of the 87th Precinct. I found Fiddlers, which is actually the 55th book in the 87th Precinct. Beautiful hardback. Mischief, the man himself back there. And then this is my favorite. This was Mylard, really cool cover. Hail to the Chief. Isn't that really cool? Beautiful edition. So I was super excited. I now have 35 of the 55 87th Precinct books. So I'm doing a good job. I've read 3 or 4 of them already, and so I've got my work cut out for me, but there is this reading 87th Precinct reading event going on that I'm going to partake in as well. And so, yeah, I'm really excited. I love McBain, so I'm really excited I got those. I also came across these. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is a book that's talked about heavily. I believe I read this in high school, but I don't remember it at all. But I picked up this wonderful trade paperback edition of it, and I threw it in the bag for my $1 tote bag. And I picked up this Wordsworth Children's Classic edition of Grimm's Fairy Tales. This is from the Davenport College. There's a sticker on the back for that. But it's like brand new. And it has these wonderful illustrations inside that mark the end of chapters, the beginning of chapters. This is really cool stuff. But yeah, I thought this would be interesting for Saturday Shorts maybe. But really, really cool. Or if I wanted to do, again, I've talked about this a while, doing maybe a nostalgia month where I read some kind of YA old books that I read as a kid. I thought that would be interesting as well. I also picked up a little hardback edition of a Spencer novel, Bad Business by Robert B. Parker. Really excited about it. And then I picked up basically every Louis L'Amour edition they had. And so let me get those set up for you. And so I saw Louis L'Amour and yeah, I grabbed everything. There's 30 paperbacks here of Louis L'Amour that I grabbed. Most are in really good condition. And so I didn't care if I already had it. If I have I have 2 piles basically here, and about half of them I already have, and about half of them I don't when I was inventorying all of these books in my spreadsheet. And so I'm going to go through the process of the pile that I have, and I'm going to go make sure that what I have is better in condition and keep the best, and then the worst condition ones I will give to a free library. One little thing before I get started. If you remember a while ago, I had found these Golden Eagle BRMs for the Executioner novels by Don Pendleton, and I filled out and did the stickers and the scratch-offs and stuff. And so I finally got one back. It was undeliverable, which I thought was really funny. Golden Eagle Reader Service, no longer able to forward to the business. They're no longer in business type thing. I thought that was hilarious. I wanted to share that with you. And so, Louis L'Amour. So I'll go through, these are the books that I have, and I'll start with this one here. It is Rivers West, which you saw I got earlier, but this one is really cool. Check out that cover of Rivers West. And then I got a copy of Over on the Dry Side. As you can tell, these are really cool covers, really good condition. The Empty Land. War Party. Chansey. Passing Through. Brion. And this was really cool. I don't know if oh shoot, I ripped it already. Gosh darn it. It was in there too tight, and this is old paper, but here, let me hold this up. So this was a printout of an old grocery receipt, and it's yellowed, but it was stuck in that book before I ripped it. But they bought all of these grocery items. The tax on it was 92 cents. And they gave a $20 bill and got 68 cents in change. But the tax is like 5 cents because it was 1840 and the tax was 92 cents. So it was 5% sales tax. But yeah, $1.98 for meat, $1.67 for meat. When have you ever found that for meat? So this is really old. And yeah, And then I noticed at the bottom, yeah, it's got a date, 12/11 of 1977. So it was actually before I was even born. But yeah, an old receipt that I ripped. But I found this in this book. I thought that was really cool. I'm going to put it back in there. I like finding things too, so I'll put that in there. Guns of the Timberlands. I really needed this copy. Matagorda is a book I think I got from Logan a long time ago. It is in tatters. But look what I got. I got Matagorda in this beautiful, look at that cover. Really cool. The Kiowa Trail. Conager. The Lonely Men. Dark Canyon. Just really like these covers. The Ferguson Rifle. One of my favorites. Down the Long Hills. Look at that. The Tall Stranger. The Californios. The Man from Skibbereen. I really like this one. Sitka. Look at that. I've never seen one of those like that. And I was wondering, what was the publication date on this? I know this video is super long. Yeah, copyright 1957. That can't be the publication date, can it not? But this is really old. 1957, I don't see anything else, but man, that's old. That's really, I've never seen that before. That was really cool. These are the ones that I don't have, so I was super excited to get these. Board and Chantry. Westward the Tide. I really like this one too. Kilkenny. I didn't even never heard of this one actually either. Bendigo Shafter. It's like a frontier, huge, it's an actually big book. It's like almost 350 pages. But it's like, they came west inspired by the boldest American dream, pioneers whose hands and hearts shaped the proud destiny of a nation, 7 men and 13 women and children, strangers who shed their blood to build a community out in the Wyoming wilderness. And towering above them all was Bendigo Shafter, a giant of a man whose love and courage were the equal of the mighty land. Interesting. North to the Rails. Really cool cover. I like this one too. I mean, there's so many good covers. That's why I grabbed all these. Radigan. The Writer of the Ruby Hills, which is a collection of like novellas. It contains Showdown Trail, the original version of the novel The Tall Stranger, A Man Called Trent, which is the first telling of the Mountain Valley War, The Trail to Peach Meadow Canyon, which became Son of a Wanted Man, and then The Writer of Ruby Hills, which was expanded to Where the Long Grass Blows. So really cool kind of collection. Kilroan. The Writer of Lost Creek. Callaghan, which has that dollar sticker that you're never going to get off of it, but really cool cover. And then last but certainly not least, Fair Blows the Wind, and I have never seen this cover either, but yeah, check that out. So yeah, I have a bunch of the Chantry, Kilkenny, the Talon books now, so really excited. Again, I just grabbed everything Ms. Lamore. There's 30 books here for me to change out some of the ones I have and then add some new ones to the collection. And that, my friends, was all. I put all of these Louis L'Amours in one bag, so I paid $1 for all the Louis L'Amours, $1 for the other bag, and $6 for the 2 books, and $1 for Abby's. You can't beat that. $9 plus everything else was birthday. So, and I won a book, a hellacious book haul and book mail. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again.